Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Taskmaster Tuesday, episode 3 of this season, and today we're designing destroyers. We being Serious Strategy Gamer, the Serious Strategy Gamer, Spartan Elite, and Brother Monroe. Current points are Brother Monroe in last with 7 points, Spartan Elite at 8 points, third place. Or second place, effectively, and I'm tied with Serious Strategy Gamer. We both have 9 points. Last week I was able to get 5 points due to having the explosion on the enemy ship. And despite there being comments on whether or not I would not be in the race for the inviolate damage, which means that any Admiral who managed to achieve the win battle without critical damage condition, I did not take any critical damage, and the critical damage that I did take was on turrets. But Brother Monroe, our unofficial Taskmaster, he's the one who comes up with the challenges, said no, it only goes for stuff that actually breaks down entirely, such as engines, rudders, firing position or firing solutions, stuff like that. The icons that you can see above the ship, not the actual turret itself. So despite my turret going malfunctioning in the last possible 2-3 seconds, I think, of the last video, that didn't actually impact me at all, fortunately. Now, today then, a couple of tasks. We are to build one destroyer, 1926, and considering that in week 1 I picked France, I'm going to stick with France. The ship must have at least medium range, it must have advanced radio or an RDF system, and it must have at least 4 torpedo tubes. We are to sink all the enemy transports, that's 5 of them. Win the battle without taking any critical damage. This is going to be much more difficult in this particular week, as we're building a destroyer. Which, well, good luck armoring that up to the point where it cannot take any critical damage. Fortunately, the enemy is only 2 destroyers, and, of course, some of the 5 transports, as they might be armed. The Admiral who wins the battle with the cheapest ship gains an extra point, so that's a point that only one person can get, and win the battle without firing any torpedoes for 1 point. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be quite interesting indeed. Oh, this is a tough choice to begin with. The modern destroyer leader is going to cost me in our current configuration 6.2 million. The base destroyer 2.7. That means that I might have a pretty decent shot at getting the cheapest ship. But of course, something this small does not have a whole lot of room for armor upgrades. That's kind of the problem. Let's see if I can go with the smallest possible DD. And I will require a funnel. Let's see, engine efficiency, 56 only. Whew. Let's invest in geared turbines, forced engines, or forced boilers. Oil is not critical. Crop 4. An auxiliary engine would be much appreciated. And then shaft 3, it's only 9 tons? Okay. It does, however, add quite a bit. But with these things, turning rate and acceleration are better. What's my current turning rate? 273? 224. It's 70 meters. It adds up. But I feel that if I'm going to get torpedoed, I might be able to just throw on a hydro system and avoid it altogether. Because this is 3.4 million, this is basically 3.45 million, it's not that bad. This is tough. Am I going to go with short range or medium range? This is gun range accuracy, long range, faster aiming speed. This is much faster aiming speed and just a flat better gun accuracy. Let's go with that. Now, advanced RDF, or advanced improved radio telegraph. That's one of the points that I can get. No, sorry, it's one of the main requirements. Ship must have advanced radio or RDF, must have at least medium range, must have at least 4 torpedo tubes. But ironically, if you don't use them, you get more points. Win the battle without firing any torpedoes for 1 point. Considering the space on the deck, I can go with a quad. Alternatively, I can have them here. And basically disable them because they cannot turn anyway. Ooh, I can have them next to the tower. There. This way they don't take up any space that I'm going to need for guns. Excellent. Main guns. Considering what we're fighting, I think 4-inch guns ought to be sufficient. Like a dual barrel there and a dual barrel there. Just have a ridiculously bad aft weight offset. I'm definitely going to require advanced hydraulic turrets or electro-hydraulic turrets here. And autoloaders. Is it at all possible to throw a barbette here? And yes. The weight offset is pretty bad though. What if I do it again here? Oh, sit. Copy, sit. One back. Keep it all as close to the main tower, as close to the front as possible. 0.3, 0.6. Bring this one out. 0.3. Bring this thing out. 0.1. Gives me 100 tons to play around with. Also, when it comes to firepower, Lyddite in this case is not necessarily bad. Normally, I don't choose Lyddite if I actually consider to look at it. Because it does not get a lot of penetration. But now I'm fighting against enemy destroyers. Which means that super heavy Lyddite fired shells are going to do a lot of high explosive damage. So that could actually work in this configuration. And then the big question. Am I going to go for armor? Or not? Because I can tack on a maximum of 1.5 inches of armor. It does add up with the price. Which is not really what I want. Actually, I don't need any deck armor. Because I won't be getting shot at long range anyway. I can, for 5 tons, buy a couple of 2-inch guns, which will make very, very quick work of any transport that I find. It's just going to be questionable whether I can turn those around. I think I can't. Speed on this thing is 35 knots. It's pretty good. I don't have to max this out, because if I'm going to go with a higher amount of speed, I'm also going to be paying more for it. And 4.3 million, 4.4 effectively, rounded up. I think it's not too bad. If I give the ship one better propeller shaft... Yeah, here, 4.4 million. 2.53 meter turning circle, and I do detect torpedoes slightly earlier. Turret top, not important. Secondaries, I don't carry any. Yeah, I think this is about as minimalist DD as you can get it. And I hope that it will perform its duties. This is the mini DD. Let's see if I can survive with this thing without taking critical damage. Okay, let's eat some destroyers. Unfortunately, the Russians apparently brought out some pretty big ones. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, look at this thing. It's tiny. It's cute. I just hope it works. With my fairly unusable torpedo tubes. I'm hoping that high speed plus a tiny ship, just 1,500 tons, for the mere price of 4.4 million, you can have one too. I hope that this miniature device is going to be hard to hit. And that it can hit hard with 4-inch super heavy Lyddite shells. Or did I select super heavies? No, just standards. No, sorry, super heavy shells, but standard complement. That's it. Alright, find me the enemy. Come to think of it, another feature that would be great is if you could just set a sort of scenario and then, I don't know, upload that scenario to the Steam Workshop potentially, something like that, a sharing platform, and then have a ranking. Who can do best in this particular scenario? It's basically Taskmaster, but a bit more structured. Ooh, they have spotted me. Ow! Already? Hold on. And now I have absolutely no tower to speak of. Supposedly they're 4 clicks out. There. 3.7. Hold. What are you? You are armed with 2 double 5-inch. A single 4 on the stern. 2, 5, is that 3 or 4? That's 6 total torpedo tubes, 10. And for good measure, another 3-inch on the bow. If I can slip in behind this thing, I can take it apart pretty easily. There's only 1 4-inch gun on the stern. So, steady as she goes. Open up. And start eliminating. Of course, they too smoke up. There's the other DD. Currently about 7 clicks out. This is good. I like that. That's really good. Come on, drop your torps. There's the torps. This thing turns on a dime, so I'm not concerned about the torpedoes at all. Especially now that I know that they have been launched. Means it's even easier to sneak in behind the enemy. No, it's not quite a CA, but it is a pretty big DD at that. I feel like this task is fairly heavily RNG based, because whereas a light cruiser you can pretty easily actually armor up and make sure you don't take any hits or don't take any critical amounts of damage. With a DD, with a DD it's basically try not to get hit. And you just don't have any kind of influence on that. Let's go for high explosive only, because that's what we do best. We have ID. These 5-inch guns reload in 11 seconds. Their 4-inch guns reload in 6 seconds. Mine reload in 8.57, but I fire 2. Your torpedoes are pretty visible. You have standard complement bulkheads. You weigh twice as much as my little DD. You already got 1 blackened section. How fast can you go? 33.5. You cannot turn as well as I can, and you cannot go as fast as I can. You do have an auxiliary engine too. That's going to be better at repairing stuff. And your barbette armor? I never even thought of that. Triple hull bottom. Okay. This thing... Oh, this thing is twice as expensive as mine. Okay. Let's see if I can take it apart. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The thing is, I need to sink their transports to get at least 1 point. If I can kill the DDs, more power to me. No! More power to me. But at this rate, that is not going to work out too well. I think we're going to have a very close run-in with this DD here. And I'm actually not too excited about the prospect of sailing behind it with all those torpedo launchers. Anyway, my point, or my potential point of win the battle without taking any critical damage is done. Because I have damaged engine 2, and I'm not getting it back. I'm very much hesitating to pull the trigger on the torpedoes. If I can still win the battle, and sink the transports, and get the cheapest ship, I don't know. If I sink the transports, I get 1 point, but currently these DDs are so deadly that that prospect is not even terribly likely. If I do sink the transports and win the battle, and I might have the cheapest ship, but I do it without, or with use of torpedoes, I can still get 3 points. Let's see if these torpedo launchers want to do anything useful for me. But I'm afraid that this mini DD is not going to have a great time. Torpedoes away. The Mechislav is turning to starboard, trying to dodge. Now it's my time to dodge. These are just mere, fairly tiny 18-inch torpedoes, befitting of a small DD. Mechislav is flooding. Did drop her own torps. Oh, crap. Very, very short-range action here. Ooh. Maybe don't hurt me. There we go. That's one down. Hard to starboard. Our rudder is pretty crapped out, but we'll just have to do with what little rudder capacity we still have. I would very much appreciate being able to get my engines back online. Because I don't want to be sailing around at 13 knots. I'm easy to hit. 17 knots. The engines are coming back online. One of them is not. Because one of them is just going to be flooded. The rudder is not looking great either. Oh! That was a hit. And it detonated the ammo. Oh dear. Now, because of the game features, I can still see where the target is. Because my ship is still locked onto it, sort of. Or, no, sorry, that's the torpedo lock-on. That's the torpedo lock-on on the ship that already sunk. Oh dear. That's potentially two engines flooded. They have just launched and run out of torpedoes. Stop hitting me. They've lost sight of me. Good. Just to be sure, I'm going to do a little bit of dodging here. And not a moment too soon at that. Oh, crap. Smoke. I'm going to have to confront this thing, otherwise I'll never be able to get to those transports. They'll just pick me apart. And when if I'm able to sink the transport, or the DD here, then I still have to try very hard to get close to the enemy transports, because they'll be doing about 15 knots. I can't go that fast. Especially not with my 2 damaged engines. I can do a third of that. With my regular speed, that is. 11 knots is all I have to try and intercept their transports. At this point, I'm mostly fighting for my life. Which so far is not going terribly well. Come on, I know you're in your smoke screen over there. What? What? Who sunk? You hit your own transports? Wow. That's unexpected. Okay. The AI torpedoed a friendly. And one of their transports died. 8.5 kilometers from my current position. North. Northwest. That is rather unfortunate. This DD was supposedly protecting the formation. But it has a very Russian way of doing it. Oh, 2637. That was just now. It launched another set of torps at me. Stop flooding me! There. Oh, shit. Maximum starboard. Oh. Well, we're fine. I think they just ran out of torps, but guns, not so much. And I can't see it. Even though it's a mere 4 clicks out, I can't see it. What's the weather like? Cloudy. Well, somebody try and grab a binoculars and look towards the north. Because there should be a DD out there. Current speed, 8 knots. Maximum. Auxiliary 4 and anti-flooding 1 is not enough. Where is he? Here. 4.5 clicks out. All I can do is just try and maneuver to where he's supposedly going. But that's about it. Here. Using the game voodoo, I can still sort of track where he is. Around 4.1 clicks. This little thing has already taken 1,600 damage. Wow. And I've already been shot at about 1,020 times. I forgot how much ammo that thing had. That's something I would very much like to know. How much ammunition are you carrying? Because I really do not want to try and wait him out, but I just want to try and not get shot at anymore. I'm not looking for a repeat of last week where I completely cheesed the mission and let the heavy cruiser shoot, well, basically shoot its magazines dry trying to kill me. Oh no. That's one 3-inch hit. Speed reduced to 7 knots. That means that I can barely get close to the transports. But I think the whole week is a complete failure. I've taken about 1,300 hits, or at least attempts. And here's the problem, right? The Admiral who wins the battle with the cheapest ship, gains 1 point. So this is also a bit of a triple double bluff guess. Because I might have the cheapest ship, but if I don't win the battle, then I don't gain that point either. So, based on what I'm seeing right now, this is a terrible week. Because not only will I not gain any points, I will also lose the undefeated potential, which is any Admiral who doesn't lose any of their ships in all 5 weeks gains 1 point, or gains 1 point. By the looks of it, the mini DD is not going to survive. Untouchable. Any Admiral who doesn't get hit by a single torpedo across all 5 weeks gains 1 point. I'm still in the running for that one. Untouchable. No, inviolate. Any Admiral who manages to achieve the win battle without critical damage that's out for me. I have 2 critically damaged engines and a critically damaged rudder. Spectacular. That's something that you can just keep getting. If you cause an enemy ship to explode and sink, you get a point. Like I got last week. This is going to be terribly boring to watch at this point. 1,500 shots. They're using a single 4 and 2 dual 5s, which means that they don't have terribly large amounts of ammunition. Oh, big hit. That was a 5-inch hit. No more flooding, but the rest of the ship is not looking particularly great. I mean, we seem to be listing to starboard very badly. We're mostly submerged on the stern, and I'm dead. Bad week. Bad week. 0 points for me this week. And I'm out of the undefeated award. I'm out of the inviolate award. Oh, terrible. Terrible. I hope the other guys did just as terrible. But then again, they probably didn't. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out whatever the other guys built. Linked down below in the description are their attempts. And hopefully next week I can gain some form of points, because I was on shared first place and now I have nothing. So I'm going to be dropping back to 3rd, potentially 4th place again. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more videos.